T&D Sports, an exclusive video broadcast.
From the Big Apple, down the road on Long Island at Bill Edwards Stadium, the Atlanta Smoke take on the New York Rise on the All-Women's Sports Network. And a pleasant good evening, everybody. Alongside Maria Trivalpiece, I'm John Perez as we get ready for softball here a little bit early here at Bill Edwards Stadium. And this should be a good one here, Maria, as it is game number 13 for the New York Rise. All the games have been on the road, and they've just been looking for some home cooking. Well,
I think that's the exciting part about tonight. They're finally back here at Hofstra University, getting to play on their home field. Just an exciting time for the Rise to get things going.
First batter of the game is Silent Rain Espinoza, the first baseman getting the start tonight for Atlanta. And Silent Rain, a lot of talent on this Atlanta Smoke team. Of course, coming from Washington. And takes a pitch inside from the pitcher tonight, which is, of course, Allie Light. Second year at Bill Edwards Stadium for the New York Rise. And we're excited to be on the All-Women's Sports Network here from Bill Edwards Stadium as the pitch is on the outside corner. Strike three called, and Allie Light gets her first K of the evening.
Well, the thing that makes Allie Light successful, and we'll get to her full breakdown in just a little bit, is the fact that she can paint the corners, and she does that on that third strike call right there. That's in a spot where Silent Rain Espinoza just can't get a piece of it. Perfectly placed by Light.
And so that'll bring up Morgan Howe, the outfielder from Arizona State. As Allie Light, first pitch driven in the air, deep left center field. Riley Blampete going back, looking at the wall, jumps, it's gone. Morgan Howe hits her third home run in her last 3 games. A solo shot to left center field, and the Smoke strike first.
When you're on deck as a batter, John, you want to see what happens to the hitter before you, and that's what Morgan Howe does. Silent Rain Espinoza struck out on that pitch on the upper outside part of the plate. Allie Light goes back to that pitch, but this time Morgan Howe was ready for it, crushes it over the left center field wall.
And so that'll bring up Jada Cody, the catcher from UCF. Shows bunt, pulls back. And Light behind in the count, 1-0. Cody from Murrieta, California, just like McKenna Smith, the catcher for the New York Rise. Hitting .444 on the year. Little jam shot into center field. That dunks in for a base hit. And Cody's got the second hit of the inning. And the Smoke already with something cooking. Strikeout, a solo home run, and now a single, and that'll bring up Florida Gator Charlotte Eccles as we take another look.
Well, you see Jada Cody trying to get her timing on that pitch as she's walking through the box. She actually got jammed a little bit on the inside part of the plate, but she's still able to get enough barrel on it that it drops in for a single up the middle.
First pitch to Eccles, misses down and in for ball 1. Eccles is one of those players that a lot of fans have been excited to see. Hit 2 home runs against Orlando down in the Bahamas. One in the first and another in the third. Drives it to right field. She's got a base hit. As that's Kayla Waddle to play it. Cutoff throw from Laird. Throw to third. The tag from Brown gets Cody for an exciting out number 2. Good relay. Waddle to Laird and Brown with the tag down.
I love this when you hit your cutoff and everything works out right. Waddle gets that ball on the one hop, positions her body, she hits her cut, and then the quick throw over to third base and a beautiful tag by Alex Brown. That's a big second out for the Rise.
So 3 hits in the inning and 1 run already in. And here's Kiki Malloy from Tennessee. Getting the start in left field, and Light paints the outside corner for strike 1. Such a deep lineup that this Atlanta Smoke team has, and in talking to Kat Tarvin today, she said it's been an embarrassment of riches, and her biggest dilemma is 1 through 10, they're so deep. Where do they bat? Where are they going to get the most production? And she's still trying to figure it out.
Well, when you have this many former All-Americans and this many talented athletes and bats in your lineup, it does make it a little bit more difficult because usually a lot of coaches go with the philosophy, all right, if you can hit, you're going to find your way into the lineup. Well, they can all hit, so who's going to hit where and who's going to be sitting on the bench is an even bigger decision for Kat Tarvin.
And Malloy, one of those players, decorated player, 2024 D1 softball second team All-American. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, a 1-0 lead for the Smoke in the first. And the pitch, and we'll do it again.
Well, it was funny, John, because I pulled up all of my notes and rosters to prep, and we've been following these teams throughout the entire season. But when you go down that Atlantic Smoke roster, you are just followed by All-American, All-Conference selection. And I think that as an opponent, it could be a little bit intimidating when you're coming into a matchup against this team.
And that pitch just misses. And a good at-bat from Malloy against Light. Count goes to 3-2. Both of these teams have good discipline at the plate, but this is a Smoke team that 70% of their at-bats are quality at-bats. Payoff pitch, stays alive, and by that, it's at least at-bats that result in a positive result, so a hit, or a walk, hit by pitch, or driving in a run, but also raising up the pitch count. It's about 5 to 6 pitches per plate appearance for each of these batters, and they just go up there with a plan. 3-2, hit on the ground to first, and it rolls foul.
Well, I think you bring up a great point about quality at bats. I remember when I was in college, that was a stat that we kept not only during games but also in practice. And we would have prizes given out if you had the most quality at bats at the end of the week. And it's exactly like you said, John, the number of pitches in an at bat. Did you make hard contact? Did you move a runner? Because I think it's so easy to get caught up in hit or out when that's only a small percentage of what makes a good softball game and good at bat. I mean, think about it. You can line out and hit the ball perfectly, that's still an out. So talking about quality at bats really helps you measure as a player how successful you are in the batter's box.
Here's someone that takes a ton of quality at bats and a storied career at Kent State. Maddie Grimm steps up to the plate and gets plunked on the first pitch, and the bases are loaded.
You know, we talk a lot about the power and the prowess of this Atlanta Smoke team in the batter's box, and because of that, that's going to force Allie Light to make sure that she's hitting the corners, which she's done a pretty good job of, but you see her losing a little bit of control in these last 2 batters. You can't put it over the plate. We saw what happened to Morgan Howe when that ball is a little bit too much over the white, and so now she needs to find a way to adjust. Calm down here. You have 2 outs. Work her way out of the inning.
Tony Marie Valeriano in her second season as the pitching coach for the New York Rise. Great career over at Queens College, the Division II level in the ECC, and has her own facility out in Farmingdale, a local player and getting involved. And that's such a cool thing about this Rise team. You see some homegrown players like Jenna Laird, but the staff is all New York-based, which is pretty cool to see. First pitch strike for Light to McKenna Dow, 0-1.
Well, we talk about Jenna Laird being a homegrown player. We're going to talk a lot about the head coach of the New York Rise, Michaela Transu, who played right here on this field at Hofstra University.
1 to McDowell in the dirt, and a good stop by McKenna Smith. Playing in her first game of the season, was playing overseas in Japan. Her and Jalen Ford joining the team. McKenna joining the team yesterday in their off day, and Jalen Ford in their last game of the road trip. 1-1, 2-1.
Well, McKenna Smith is somebody I'm so excited to see back in a Rise uniform. Last year, she was such a great defensive player for this team, but also her bat really picked up towards the middle and end of the season. I swear, John, she was hitting a home run almost every at-bat.
Tore up the Chattanooga Steam, or now the Orlando Monarchs, and the interesting thing about that was she had 6 RBIs in game 1, and then remember, they just walked her every plate appearance.
Every time. And I think we had her up in the booth at one point, too, after she had all those RBIs. She was eating cookies with us. So not only just a great player, a great person, she was really fun to chat with as well, and likes a good cookie and a sweet treat.
Who doesn't?
Hopefully we can get some sweet treats this series. I would love that.
Now 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Base is full of smoke. Top of the first inning. Payoff pitch, and that's line foul. And we'll do it again.
You know what we also have to talk about in the coming days, John, is the names and the uniforms of all of these teams. I think that the way that the Rise and the Smoke have put together just really fun and exciting names, mascots, and the uniforms as well. Got the pinstripes here for the Rise, and so listen, I love look good, feel good, play good, and that's what these teams are doing with these uniforms.
That's off the plate, and another run will come in. And a 2-0 Smoke lead as Eccles comes in to score. And the inning continues for Jazz Hill.
Designated player number 77, Jasmine Hill.
And that's the thing, Maria. This is an Atlanta team that's really not going to chase. McKenna Dow watches fastball miss inside for ball 1.
And it just goes back to my point I made earlier is they're not going to chase. You have to throw strikes, but it's the kind of strikes that you're throwing. How much are you going to pull them off the plate so you can still get the call, but it's not over the heart of it that this Smoke team can crush.
Kenna Dow grew up in Georgia, played at Auburn, 0 for 4 on the year, and watches low. And the count 2-1. This has been the issue for Rise pitching this year, as the strikeouts have not been there so far, Maria. And got a good patient team like Atlanta, and there's a strike that's poured in there. Can make you pay.
Even if you don't get the strikeouts, if you have a pitcher who can spin the ball and get weak contact, you're still putting yourself in a good position, especially with the defense that the Rise has in the infield. But the really Achilles heel right now is the balls. It's not necessarily the non-strikeouts. It's the getting behind in counts. It's the throwing the balls and loading the bases for hitters that have a lot of pop.
Light thought she had strike 3 there, and they'll have to do it again. Merry-go-round will be in motion. Already 2 runs home for the Smoke. Pitch. Rolled foul, third base side, and we'll do it again. First run of the evening came on a home run by Morgan Howe, her 3rd of the year. And the pitch. Hit on the ground to second base. Sammy Williams charges and flips over to first, and the inning is over. The Smoke send 8 batters to the plate. They score 2 runs, and it's a 2-0 lead going to the bottom of the first inning.
3 left on base. Let's go down to Ali Melendez.
What's up, Rise Nation? How we feeling tonight? Need a little pulse check.
AZ Gloveman is Casa Grande, Arizona's quality leather sporting goods provider. Softball, baseball, batting gloves, and more. AZ Gloveman caters to men's and women's slow-pitch softball markets throughout the United States. Build your dream glove today at azgloveman.com. With proven day programs, routines, and expert coaching, Camwood Elite is the one-stop shop to improve your game or pick up some of the elite equipment in the nation. From pro-grade game bats to elite training, check out camwoodbats.com today.
Welcome you back to Bill Edwards Stadium here on the campus of Hofstra University in the New York Rise, led by Michaela Transeur. And there's the hometown hero, Jenna Laird, leading the way for the New York Rise, and her name on the marquee here today. Maria.
Well, the thing I love about Jenna Laird is the way that she plays shortstop. She is so smooth. She has a great first step, really athletic, good feet and hands, and we're going to see her put on a clinic not only today, but this entire season for the New York Rise.
There's Alex Brown, Riley Blampede, McKenna Smith, along with Lauren Lucas, Carly Spade, and Ashley Truweiler. And now defensively, this is a defense that has only committed 1 error so far, and it's a no-fly zone out in the outfield. I mean, a ton of Gold Glovers. You've got Anna Marie Bruni, Morgan Howe, Kiki Malloy, and you've got 3 shortstops in the infield. Charlotte Eccles holds it down in the corner with Espinoza, Cody behind the plate, and Autumn Pease. I know that you're a big AP fan.
Well, I just love the way that she throws. She has so much energy in the circle, and she's going to come at you hard. She throws a heavy ball, and I just love watching her and her excitement, especially when she has such a great defense behind her.
Here's Alex Brown, the new acquisition from Clemson, playing in her first professional season.
action, leading off for the Rise, number 25, Alex Brown.
ACC honoree and was somebody that was on the front office's radar at the beginning of this year. And it was the front office that went to go see her when Clemson had their New York trip. They had a off week or bye week, midweek matchup with Fordham before going up to play Syracuse. Clemson took care of Fordham easily. I'm sorry to say that, Maria. But that's when contact was made and some interest started to grow for Brown, and she's been fantastic so far for the Rise.
Listen, Clemson played both of my alma maters in a few days within each other. It did not fare well, but Clemson's a very good softball team, and Alex Brown, a very good softball player.
Hitting .387 on the year and swings through the riser, and the count is 1-2. Brown leading Clemson to its first ACC championship in school history. Started her career with the UNC Tar Heels. 1-2 pitch. Outside. What Michaela Transfer really likes about her is her speed. This is a Rise team that could hit it out of the ballpark, but hit the ball on the ground and pressure the defense. The Rise can beat you with their legs.
Well, Michaela Transu loves talking about hitting and defense. That's one thing that she told us when we spoke to her earlier this week.
Hit in the air the other way. First opportunity for Kiki Malloy on the run, makes the catch and one away.
Here's the thing, though. When you have the speed of Alex Brown, yes, you want to drive the ball in the gap. But the big thing for you, as you said, is try to put the ball hard on a line or on the ground. She just gets a little bit underneath this pitch. That's an easy first out for Kiki Malloy.
So one thing that has been an embarrassment of riches for us has been at least the analytics that we've been getting as Jenna Laird takes off the plate for ball one. And just looking, and you kind of decipher this for me. So this is a team that hits the ball in the air 38% of the time. The line drive percentage, 25, ground ball 30. Do you want to see them hit more line drives, ground balls, or do you like that ratio?
I think it depends. I mean, I think there's a lot of arguments. And the sport of softball and baseball go through eras, right? It was the long ball era for a while. It still kind of is the long ball era. Elevate, people want to elevate. It really depends on what the coaching staff wants and how they want to recruit or bring in this case, in professional softball players to fit what their style of play is. Me, I'm a traditionalist. I like some people who can hit it in the air, and I like some people who can hit it hard on the ground and beat it out. And so to answer your question, I like that balance that the Rise brings, but there's the power hitters who hit it in the air, but then they also have the people to utilize speed. And I'm sure there's some people who want 80% of the balls hit in the air. It really just depends the kind of team you want to put together. And that's what makes softball so much fun, right? There's so many different ways that you can be successful in this sport as a player and as a coach.
No, and you're right. And Laird has certainly done that this year. She's already hit a home run, 8 RBIs. The thing is, she puts the ball in play, which is good. And has only struck out twice so far through the first 12 games. She lifts it foul. Count 3-2.
Well, that's because of her pitch selection, right? What she does a really good job of is not swinging at anything that isn't in her heat zone. So the heat zone is that pitch that you're looking for that you know that you can crush. If that's on the inside part of the plate, you're sitting that. If the ball goes on the outside, you're letting it go until you get 2 strikes. When she does have 2 strikes, she fights them off.
3-2 coming from Pease. And it's outside, ball 4, and the Rise of a base runner.
But there's that pitch selection, right? She knows that that pitch is low and away. She can let that go. The pitch before, she fouled off because it was a little bit more over the plate. So fighting that one off to then get Pease to throw that ball on the outside part of the plate. And again, this is only a 2-0 game. This is what the New York Rise need right now, are base runners.
How about the resurgence of Riley Blampede, and her bats really come to play the first dozen games of the season, hitting .400 on the year. And a good versatile player as well. Lays off and takes high for ball 1.
Well, I think you could tell a lot about a hitter by the way that they step into the box. And look at the way that Riley Blampede just digs in the back. You could see that she's locked in. She's seeing the ball like a beach ball in this point in time.
Second year on the squad. Played for the under-17 Team USA team for the Pan American Games. Played in Colombia. And with Pease missing out of the zone, Cody goes to the mound to try and calm down Pease.
It's interesting, right? Because we just saw Atlanta have a bunch of base runners when they're on the offensive side of things. You saw the opponent pitcher Light throwing a lot of balls, and now Pease trying to not do the same thing, keep this 2-0 lead and get her team back in the dugout. So I think that leadership from Cody to just say, hey, let's take a deep breath here, get back on track, is a really good move.
That kind of exudes what the coaching staff's been preaching so far. As that pitch misses inside, it's 3-0. Kat Tarvin today said her philosophy this year, when we asked her what are some of the keys, she says that she just tells her players before every game, remember who you are, go out there and dominate. And these are players that have dominated for the majority of their career and really don't know what failure is so far. 3-0, but Lampete takes strike, 3-1.
And that also makes it a little bit tougher for these players, right? Because everywhere they've been, whether it's been high school ball, travel ball, college, they're the best player on their team. And now you bring together the best players on every college team. There's multiple All-Americans on each roster, and it's a little bit difficult when you're not the star anymore. So how do you adjust? How do you come back from that? And how do you remember who you are? You made it to this level of softball for a reason.
Well, and that was something that Tarvin had a conversation with Morgan Howe, who was a little down in the dumps before her last game against Orlando, and she said she sent her over some tape of her in the Super Regionals. Howe hit 2 home runs that game, has a home run today. That's taken high, ball 4, and the rise of something cooking. Back-to-back walks issued, and now that'll bring up McKenna Smith.
Well, this is such a mental game, John, and you know, sometimes you do forget why you're on this field, because when you are in a slump or when you make a mistake, sometimes it just feels like, man, why'd they pick me? How did I get here? And then you remember all the success that you had before, but sometimes you need a little bit of help to remember that success, and that's what a good coach like Kat Tarvin does with her players. Hey, I know you're really good. I want you to remember that as well.
McKenna Smith watches inside, ball 1.
If I'm McKenna Smith here, I'm only looking for a pitch that I can drive. This has to be well over the heart of the plate, especially with Pease struggling to find the zone.
And Smith slices it foul, and the count 1-1. Well, it was a huge re-signing for the New York Rise, not just for what McKenna Smith does at the box behind the plate, but also she's one of those team leaders and a personal friend of a lot of these players, certainly a big vibes player, and a big reason why New York has had the chemistry that they've had so far. 1-1 popped up behind the plate and will go out of play. 1-2.
And one thing I remember about McKenna Smith from last year as well is just the way that she treats her teammates and other people around her. After the game, when all the little girls are looking for autographs, McKenna Smith seems to be the one where all the little girls gravitate to, and she takes the time with every single one to just learn their name, sign the ball, and I think that says a lot about who she is as a person as well.
Got out in front of it, hits to third. Eccles tags the bag across the diamond, trickles past Espinoza, and everybody will move up an extra base. Lampete goes to third, and McKenna Smith on at second. And that'll bring up Lauren Lucas. That's one where Eccles, let's take another look,
Designated player,
pulled Espinoza off the bag.
Lauren Lucas.
Eccles does the right thing here. She taps it with her back foot, but the throw is just a little wide. I also think that Espinoza might have stretched too soon on that one, John, not able to get the full extension because she was already stretched out when the ball was coming to her.
Here's one of the new additions, Lauren Lucas from Little Elm, Texas, attacks the first pitch, hits it on ground to second. Grimm can't field it, and a run comes in to score, and everybody's safe. Lampete comes in, and the Rise cut the lead down to 2-1.
Well, Lauren Lucas finished off her career with Wichita State with a hot bat. She keeps it going here. Doesn't try to do too much with that pitch. Hits it right back up the middle to bring a run home for the Rise.
So it'll be an infield single, and that'll bring up Carly Spade. Carly Spade from Chicago, Miami of Ohio. Second year playing pro ball. And watches high for ball 1, and what a storied career she's had. Of course, finished her career with 103 career home runs, second most in NCAA history. Still looking for her first one, and can't think of a better time than in the home opener. 1-0, and socked in the air to left, and it's down for a base hit, and one hops the wall. Smith is in to score. Rounding third and heading home is going to be Lucas Shees in to score. It's a 2 RBI double for Carly Spade, and the Rise go back in front, 3-2.
Pease throws with a lot of speed and a lot of spin. That rise ball coming up in the zone. But Carly Spade knows that it's coming, keeps her hands on top of the ball. She's able to hit a nice line drive in the left center field gap to bring 2 of her teammates home.
Here's Ashley Trierweiler, hitting 250 on the year, second year on the team. From Grand Canyon, takes a strike, 0-1. Trierweiler has been one of those hard luck players where she has been getting solid contact, but she's been hitting it right at fielders. As she swings it right back up the middle, and that's through for a base hit. Carly Spade gets the stop sign. The throw's cut off. Trierweiler is going to take the extra base. And 3 straight hits for the Rise.
If there are any young softball players watching this broadcast, I need them to keep their eyes on Ashley Trierweiler. She does a great job, hits this ball back up the middle, and she knows that if this throw goes over the cutoff, she's going to take second base. There it goes, the ball's released. She sees it wide. Runners on second and third. That is great base running from Trierweiler.
Here's Sammy Williams looking to shake off the rust. Their team in front 3-2. And watches low for ball 1. Williams, another Vibes player as well, always leading the group chats and had a solid year last year for the Rise. In fact, the first player recruited by Jeff On when he was forming the team.
Always got to have the vibes. Most important part of pro softball.
You know, On credits Williams with her patience and staying with the Rise, because for a long time she was the only player that was signed. It was barely an infrastructure or anything there, and she stood with it. Of course, played her first year with the OKC Spark, and now in her second year with the Rise, and she has been fantastic so far on and off the field.
Well, that's how you get this thing going, right? You get people to believe in your vision, and then you'll bring others with you. And Williams doing a good job of buying into Jeff On's vision, and we've seen this thing grow from year 1 to year 2. It's getting more exciting by the minute.
Third walk of the inning. Here comes Kat Tarvik. She's going to go out to the mound.
Kayla Waddle.
Stern talking to, or, you know, she looks at Pease as a flamethrower out there, and a lot of times the message to her players has been just to settle down, be you out there. But Maria, I'll ask you, is that kind of the pep talk that you're seeing there?
I really wish that we could put little microphones into the huddles when coaches go out and talk to pitchers, although we probably wouldn't be able to, just because there would maybe be some language that we can't air on a broadcast. But I will say it's probably a calm down message. It's a 3-2 game right now. It's very early. You're just trying to figure out who you are as a pitcher and a person in this moment. You've done it before, so just find a way to get back to doing that.
What have you seen from her so far in the first inning?
Well, the flame-throwing part is there, and when she spins her rise ball through the zone, it's effective, but she's just missing it, and it's getting a little flat. So when we see some of these rise hitters squaring the ball up, it's because she's not getting enough spin on that rise ball.
Kayla Waddle, the 9th hitter up for the Rise in the bottom of the first inning. Bases loaded and 2 down. And the count 0-2. Carly Spade at third, Ashley Trierweiler at second, Sammy Williams on at first. Rise looking to take advantage against Autumn Pease. You really don't have a lot of opportunities against Autumn Pease. You got to cash in when you can. 0-2. 1-2. Waddle, of course, not your typical 9 hitter. Seen more as a double leadoff hitter. The 1-2. Just high. 2-2.
I think it's a smart tactic when coaches do that because it gives you somebody who has a high on-base percentage. It allows them to turn the order over for some of your best hitters at the top of the lineup. The key is, though, having 2 hitters and enough good hitters that you can put one of your top hitters in the 9 spot.
She got the second highest contact percentage on the team, too, so rarely strikes out as she swings it to the other way. Morgan Howe's there, makes the catch, and the inning is over. But the New York Rise put 3 runs on the board. And for
3 runs, 3 hits.
the first inning, it is a 3-2 lead for New York on the All Women's Sports Network.
Conveniently located in Rockville Center, Frank's Steaks is a refined but casual, authentic New York steakhouse on Long Island. Since it opened 40 years ago, Frank's Steaks has been committed to serving high-quality prime cuts of beef in a timeless New York atmosphere with a friendly, attentive waitstaff. It's this obsessive dedication to our craft that has led Frank's Steaks to becoming the local destination for special dinners and celebrations. At Just Bats, our business strategy is simple. Get the perfect bat for you on time, every time, exactly as you promised. We not only provide you with the baseball bats and softball bats, but we also provide you with a winning experience and a promise like nobody else. Free shipping both ways, expert customer service, same-day shipping up until 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, on time, every time, exactly as promised at Just Bats. With proven day programs, routines, and expert coaching, Camwood Elite is the one-stop shop to improve your game or pick up some of the elite equipment in the nation. From pro-grade game bats to elite training, check out camwoodbats.com today.
Welcome back to Bill Edwards Stadium and a 3-2 lead for New York. As we go to the top of the second inning, Maria Trivalpiece, I'm John Perez. Second season and second home opener for the New York Rise. A good crowd here on hand. It's been 100 degrees in the Northeast over the last 3 days. I know that that's what you're used to down in Texas, but it's been brutal, and finally better weather here today as the first pitch misses to Anna Marie Bruni, or hits, and the count 0-1.
Listen, John, I'm a little disappointed because everybody up here in the Northeast told me it was going to be so hot, so I packed shorts, I packed skirts, and now I am freezing up here in the booth.
Bruni rolls it on the ground to second. Williams, the underhand flip, and retires Bruni for the first out of the second inning.
First base, number 21, Silent Rain.
Anna Marie Bruni has so much speed. If she hits this ball anywhere else, she has a chance to be safe. Look at this, still is so close on a routine ground ball to the second baseman.
Speed kills, and she's got a lot of it. And back to the top of the order, Silent Rain Espinoza takes strike one after striking out in her first at-bat.
I love taking a look at hitters the second time through because I want to see what adjustments you make. What pitch did you strike out on? How are you going to adjust to it this time around? The last time it was that screw rise ball pitch on the outside part to Espinoza. If light goes there again, can she attack it?
1-1, dribble on the ground to third. Alex Brown kicks it, and it'll be an E5. And that'll be the first error of the season for Brown and a one-out base runner in Espinoza.
So light goes back to the pitch that she got Espinoza out on in her first at-bat. And again, she gets Espinoza, this time making weak contact, but Brown, that ball just ate her up a little bit over at the hot corner, unable to make the play.
The 15th error of the season for New York as Morgan Howe watches outside for ball one.
It becomes really tough. You know, I was talking to a lot of the veteran players, right? And for them, you would think, okay, you've been doing this for a little bit. You're used to pro softball. But the thing that is difficult for the vets is the fact that they don't get as many reps as some of the college players coming in. So
Sammy Williams knocks it down, and Jenna Laird will get the lead runner. Nice job by Williams to knock it down. Laird on the coverage, and there's two away.
That's why these two are so great up the middle together. Both Sammy Williams and Jenna Laird so quick, knowing where they have to be at all times. Just getting a glove on that is Sammy Williams. She's able to then get an out when Laird picks it up.
And so it'll bring up Jada Cody. And Cody takes ball 1. This is an interesting approach because Cody has some power, former Team USA player, and looks like she's going to square, and then she goes up there and it's like not a slap, but drives it in the air to left. It's going to hang up for Ashley Cherweiler, and the inning is over. So a much better inning for Allie Light as she throws up a scoreless frame going to the bottom of the second.
AZ Gloveman is Casa Grande, Arizona's quality leather sporting goods provider. Softball, baseball, batting gloves, and more. AZ Gloveman caters to men's and women's slow pitch softball markets throughout the United States. Build your dream glove today at azgloveman.com. College planning is a complex, multi-year journey requiring academic and standardized test success, resume building, and sensible college selection, as well as application savvy. Our college readiness services are designed to help you start early, stay organized, and navigate the critical process with confidence. With college admission and financial advising and ACT, SAT test prep, visit methodlearning.com today.
That from Times Square. Nice job at the bakery, and can never really go wrong with some New York dining, and I'm down for some treats.
What's your favorite sweet treat that you saw on that video right there?
I'm an eclair guy.
Ooh, like
Love
a chocolate
eclairs.
eclair or just like a plain one? There's different kinds.
I don't discriminate.
Okay, any eclair.
Any eclair.
Okay.
But yeah, no, chocolate really has my heart.
Oh, okay. I feel that. I would have loved to see maybe some ice cream with those pastries as well. That's something that I need at all times. Like I'm probably going to get ice cream after the game, even though I just complained about being cold. Love me a good ice cream in the summer, especially a post-game ice cream. That was the best part of playing when you were a little kid. You got the ice cream or the icy after the game.
I'm with you. How about the vibes for these fans? Ali Melendez back for her second season and double play here as well. I had the opportunity to meet double play last night, and you know it's kind of like, and I hate to say this, it's like meeting Superman or learning the identity.
Don't reveal
I'm not.
the identity of Superman or double play.
You're right.
Double play is double play. I don't know what you're talking about.
You're right. Well, let's just say he's a lot more vocal than he appears to be, in a good character here as well.
Double play definitely brings the energy and the vibes. We love to see it here in New York.
Alex Brown, her second turn at the dish against Autumn Pease. And the count even at 1-1. She flew out to left in her first time up. Brown grew up in Savannah, Georgia. Played her first 2 years for the UNC Tar Heels. First team All-ACC last year. It's a very balanced Rise lineup. The issue has been they've been all or nothing so far, and it's been a slump that has really plagued the team. But a good bounce-back victory against the Orlando Monarchs, 6-3. The Rise hit 3 home runs in that game, and a good way to get off the schneid, especially getting ready for your home opener.
Well, it's just figuring out who's going to pick who up at what times, and it's also about peaking at the right time too. So even if the team as a whole was in a little bit of a slump, how did you rebound? How are you going to get the bats going all at once?
Meanwhile, control continuing to be an issue for Pease. That's her 4th base on balls given up to the Rise, and that'll bring up Jenna Laird.
It makes me wonder how long Pease will stay in this game, not only because of the walks, but because of the elevated pitch count. This is game 1 of the series, and so you want all of your arms to be as fresh as you possibly can as you take it through the other games, and so only bottom of the second here. How long will she stay in?
Who wants a shirt?
Jenna Laird walks her first time up, squares, and bunts it foul for strike 1.
That's a good thought there from Jenna Laird. Runner on first, nobody out. She does have the speed. She tries to drag bunt that to try to not only move the runner but be safe for herself. I'll be interested to see if she goes back to that bunt, and if she does, is it going to be in sacrifice form or will she try to drag again?
Well, Eccles pinching in from third base. This will be pitch number 40 for Pease. Slice in the air down the left field line. Malloy lets it fall in front of her. Looked like she had a beat on it and then just pulled up at the last second.
It's a little difficult to see from up here. I do think it was relatively in front of Malloy. We'll see it again. It's cutting away. That's the hardest ball to field off a left-handed batter. It was a good amount in front of her. I don't know. Maybe it was the wind.
Could be the first time that a lot of these players are playing here at Hofstra too. This has popped up left side. Eccles, no problem. Retires Laird for the first out.
Center fielder number 26.
It's interesting to see a lot of these players, Blampede, an SEC player, playing from these Power 5 conferences that don't necessarily get the opportunities to play at Northeast schools. You knew it at Fordham, and a lot of these Northeast schools go down south at the beginning of the year and rarely come up to Hofstra, Stony Brook, at least from the local schools. I know you got the Big East with St. John's, but first time for them playing here as well.
Well, it's interesting because when I was at Fordham, we would start the first 5 weeks of the season somewhere warm because you're not playing in New York in February and March. I mean, you can try. We certainly tried. It was not fun. Don't recommend it. But it was awesome getting to travel and see so many different schools and play a lot of teams at a high level. And so you do make a really good point. A lot of these players, especially if they grew up in California or in some of the southern states, they might never make their way to New York to play softball.
Blampede walked and came around to score, part of the 3-run first. Gets a piece of it, and the count's 1-2.
I think another thing, too, that I started to talk about earlier was just the fact that some of these vets don't have the reps as the rookies because they haven't been able to play a whole college season coming in. And so if there is an error or if there is a booted ground ball, a misjudged fly ball, it's because maybe you haven't been seeing as many as you're used to like when you were in college.
Blampede skies it to the center of the diamond. Eccles makes the catch. And there's 2 down.
And I go back to talking about when I was playing at Fordham in the Northeast, and then we'd be inside all of those months because it was 20 degrees in the north, and then you'd go south and you'd see your first fly ball. Even though you've been taking fly balls your whole life, you're like, what is this? How do I catch it? It's just a different look, and so that becomes a factor for some of these players who maybe haven't seen fly balls or ground balls in the regularity that they're used to.
Smith attacks the first pitch, serves it in the right field, a base hit. It rolls all the way to the wall. Brown on her horse. She goes to third. The relay throw comes home as Brown stops on the brakes. A good relay from the smoke. But it's a double for Smith, and now runners on second and third, and 2 down for Lauren Lucas.
McKenna Smith picking up right where she left off last year. This ball on the outer half of the plate. She waits on it so that she can get that full barrel out to the ball, and with some pop behind it. Her swing is a work of art.
Here's Lauren Lucas, .333 on the season, 3-time All AAC selection for Wichita State. Takes high, 1-0. He's trying to limit the damage. The 1-0. That's high. And the count 2-0 to Lauren Lucas.
Pease is still in a good situation, though, here. 2 outs. There's 2 runners on, but she can get out of this without adding any runs to New York's total.
And if this is your first time watching professional softball game, it's similar to college as well, as Lucas loops it in the left field, and Dow makes the catch on the run to save Pease and take a few runs off the board. It's a 3-2 lead for the New York Rise as we go to the 3rd inning on the All Women's Sports Network.
We are proud to introduce the #1.
Conveniently located in Rockville Center, Frank's Steaks is a refined but casual, authentic New York steakhouse on Long Island. Since it opened 40 years ago, Frank's Steaks has been committed to serving high-quality prime cuts of beef in a timeless New York atmosphere with a friendly, attentive waitstaff. It's this obsessive dedication to our craft that has led Frank's Steaks to becoming the local destination for special dinners and celebrations. At Just Bats, our business strategy is simple. Get the perfect bat for you on time, every time, exactly as you promised. We not only provide you with the baseball bats and softball bats, but we also provide you with a winning experience and a promise like nobody else. Free shipping both ways, expert customer service, same-day shipping up until 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, on time, every time, exactly as promised at Just Bats.
Top of the third inning. Here, after a 3-2 lead for New York over Atlanta, and a good bounce-back inning for both pitchers last inning.
Well, you come out in the first 5 runs total between the two teams, and I say this a lot about hitters, but how do you respond? And the pitcher's doing a good job, not getting too discouraged, finding the strike zone, and getting some quick outs for each of their respective teams.
It's always interesting, and I know you're a former hitter, but you know, everyone makes so much hubbub about second time through the order, third time through, and normally that is an easier time for the hitters up there. I'm kind of curious, though, for pitchers, what do they look for second, third time through? Because I'm sure that there are some tendencies that they might have picked up as well.
Well, I think it's not only the pitchers, but it's the pitching coaches and catchers as well. And so you're constantly reading what the hitters are doing. And I think it's not just happening in the game, it's also happening in the lead up to the game. Because if you take a look at some of the top pitchers, they're watching a lot of film on every hitter. What are their tendencies? What do they hit well? As opposed to what do I throw well? And so it's the philosophy of, am I going to throw to their weakness or am I going to throw to my strength? And so you might try one the first time through the order and maybe adjust then in the second time through the order. But it's a similar mindset of how are you going to read what they give you?
Charlotte Eccles ahead in the count, 2-0. Eccles singled to right and then was thrown out at third. Check that. Cody was thrown out at third. Eccles had the hit to right field on a perfect relay from Wadle to Laird to Brown. And there's a strike for Light in the count, 2-1. This will be pitch number 45 for Light. And that's scolded foul down the right field line. Count 2-2.
As a pitcher, those are the swings that you're like, I'm so glad you were way ahead of that ball and it went way far foul because you completely squared that up and it doesn't count for anything except a strike for me. First
year in the pros for Light as that's hit on the ground to second. Williams on the backhand fires to first to throw out Eccles for out number 1. This play by Williams in the hole.
We talk a lot about angles in the outfield and getting a good first jump, but it applies in the infield as well. Look at the way that Sammy Williams drop steps on a 45 instead of cutting straight across. That's why she can get to that ball and then does a good job of just throwing off that back leg. You need that quick release with the speed of the game of softball.
You're mentioning Allie Light, her college career, as there's Malloy. Light grew up in Lexington, South Carolina, started at Arkansas, then went to San Diego State for the 22, 23, and 24 season. Two-time Mountain West first team honoree in 23 and 24. And someone that can go up and down the ladder and a good repertoire as well.
Well, she utilizes all of her pitches. So as you said, she can move the ball up and down, but the thing for her is she also has a little bit more of that east to west. You're seeing that screwball a lot today, and the thing with that screwball is it not only goes in on the right-handed hitters, you see it occasionally jump as well. So it's like a screw and a rise with some really funky spin.
She got Malloy to chase, and the count is 2-2.
She took a little bit off that pitch, too, to just change up speeds, which keeps hitters off balance.
Comes 2-2. And that's low, 3-2.
I'm okay with that miss, though, to Kiki Malloy, because if you leave it too much over the heart of the plate on a 2-2 count, she can put one out of here. And so I think those misses are ones that you're okay with. All right, it's going in the dirt. Can I get her to chase? If not, I'll come at her again on 3-2.
Payoff pitch. Chopped on the ground to short. Laird charges. All in one motion. Low throw, not in time. It's really tough to throw out Malloy. It'll be an infield single and a one-out base runner for Atlanta.
Well, Jenna Laird did everything that she could on this play. You always teach young infielders to charge the ball and move through it. Laird does that, but the fact is Kiki Malloy is just too quick for Laird to get an out.
Maddie Grimm wore one on the forearm her first time up and then waxed the first pitch foul. Count 0-1. Grimm, Kent State's all-time home run leader, 3-time NFCA All-Mid-East Region first-team selection from 2015 to 2017. Runner goes, pitches outside. Throw from Smith, not in time. And a stolen base for Malloy. Her second of the season and a runner in scoring position and one out.
That's a great move here from Kiki Malloy or Kat Tarvin, whoever made the decision to call this steal. Nothing like this has been done yet from either team in this game. Catches Smith a little bit off guard. The throw is high. Malloy slides in safely.
Grimm lifts it to left towards the line is Trierweiler. Circling in, dives, can't make the catch. And it falls in.
I really think there must be wind out there in left field that we can't see, John, because that is the second left fielder in this game to misread a fly ball and just let it fall in front of them. We saw Kiki Malloy do it earlier. Now Trierweiler getting behind it and then realizes, oh my goodness, this is way farther in than I anticipated.
One, two. Then on the ground to second, Williams. Underhands to first, a positive out as Malloy moves over to third base, and there's two away. So Grimm still looking for her first hit of the season, but a productive out at that as the tying run moves to third for McKenna Dowell.
She hits a hard chopper on the ground. She's able to advance the runner from second to third, and when you're searching for that first hit, you have to take those little victories along the way, like, okay, did I make good contact? Did I swing at the right pitches? Did I move a runner? She moved a runner.
And so Dowell with an opportunity here. Walked in her first at-bat. Light comes home with the 0-1. And that's Luke, third base side, will hit off the top of the dugout. Tarvin loves the athleticism of Dowell, but just her discipline at the plate too. 0-2, driven in the air out to left. Easier play for Trierweiler. She's there, makes the catch, and the inning is over. So Allie Light bears down and then works around the one-out single. It's 3-2, going to the bottom of the third on the AWSM.
Right, fans, this time I'd like to acknowledge and say thank you to Northwell Health, official healthcare provider of the New York Pride.
Gloveman is Casa Grande, Arizona's quality leather sporting goods provider. Softball, baseball, batting gloves, and more. AZ Gloveman caters to men's and women's slow pitch softball markets throughout the United States. Build your dream glove today at azgloveman.com. With proven day programs, routines, and expert coaching, Camwood Elite is the one-stop shop to improve your game or pick up some of the elite equipment in the nation. From pro-grade game bats to elite training, check out camwoodbats.com today. Since 2009, Jen Schroe Catching has been training the game's best catchers. From Olympians to national champions, Jen Schroe Catching is the #1 training source for softball catchers worldwide. Train with the best to become the best. Book a lesson today at jenschroecatching.com.
Bottom of the third inning, 3-2 lead for New York. Here in the 2025 home opener. Autumn Pease back out on the mound, and some action in the bullpen for Atlanta, as this could be one of Pease's last innings if she cannot throw a little bit more strikes. She threw the shutout inning, but control's been an issue so far.
Well, the second inning was a great rebound for Pease, and that's what you want to see if you're Tarvin, just knowing that your pitchers can rebound if they have a little bit of a rocky start. I would like to see Pease go one more inning. If the Smoke can get one more out of her, I think it's really helpful for the staff throughout this entire series.
That's Donnie Goburn in there. Goburn last year playing for the OKC Spark and usually the first player out of the pen for Atlanta. As Carly Spade will lead it off in the bottom of the third inning and takes high for ball one. Spade a 633 OPS. She's trying to get the power back. First pro season and lines in the left field to base hit. That'll help. Leadoff single for Spade. And another hit for the Rise, their fifth of the ball game.
It starts with good contact, and Carly Spade gets great contact on this ball. It's a single in the 5-6 hole, but again, getting on top of what looks like Pease's Rise ball, poking it through that 5-6 hole.
Here's Ashley Trueweiler. Singled up the middle in her first at-bat.
Ashley Trueweiler is so dangerous because she can do what she just showed there in drag bunt. She can slap, and as we saw last year, she has some pop in her bat as well, and so it's really difficult to play her if you're an infield and an outfield because you need to take away the bunt, but you also don't want to play too far in because then she could crush it in a gap.
Well, there is the bunt, goes back towards the mound. Eccles fields it, fires, not in time. And Trueweiler with an infield single. And the Rise with the first two hitters aboard, and that'll bring up Sammy Williams.
When you teach left-handed hitters to drag bunt, you tell them to put it in no woman's land, which is that space between the corners and the pitcher. Ashley Trueweiler deadens that ball off the end of her bat. She's too quick, makes it down to first base in time. That was beautifully executed by Ashley Trueweiler and the Rise.
That brings up Sammy Williams. Walked in her first at-bat, attacks the first pitch and hits it on the ground to the right side. Grimm knocks it down, then tries to hit the covering Espinoza. Should be a base hit, and the bases are loaded.
I don't think that there was really much more than anyone on the Smoke could have done on this ball hit by Sammy Williams. This one going in the 3-4 hole, diving, and it's Espinoza. She can't come up with it. Grimm trying to save it, but Sammy Williams already at first base.
So now with the meeting of the minds out on the mound, you have to wonder if this is just a stall tactic until Goburn is ready to go out of the pen.
It's interesting because I don't think Goburn started warming up early enough for that to be a stall tactic, but it could be something that slows things down a little bit for the Smoke, even just allow Pease to get her breath.
Well, the bases are loaded for Kayla Wadle. And the corner's pinching in with nobody out. Good changeup, count 0-1.
That's a great pitch by Pease. You see that the Rise is getting on your hard stuff, pull a pin in it and change that speed. Now they have to think about it, and that timing becomes a little bit more difficult.
Flew out to right in her first at-bat. It's on the ground at third. Eccles comes home with it. Cody return throw to third, not in time. But a nice job by Eccles to get the lead runner and Spade at the plate, and there's one away.
It's a hard hit ball from Wadle, but it's just right over at Eccles at third. Not much she could do. Good job by Eccles with the awareness to throw that ball home.
Helps when you've got athletes on the left side of the infield too, where Dowell can come over and he can try and get a double play the unconventional way. Alex Brown 0 for 1 with a walk.
It's just a lot more. It's just a lot easier for the catcher to make that throw as opposed to flipping her body coming from the left, like the left side of the infield. So I like going to third on that one, but too much speed for the Rise on the base paths.
1-0. A little high. 2-0. Well, this is one of the players you want at the plate in Brown. Brown already with 5 RBIs on the season. Second most quality at-bats. And the count 2-1.
So the uniforms.
Pease bearing in, and the 2-1. 3-1.
If you're Alex Brown, you're taking a healthy cut at a pitch in the strike zone. You know that Pease doesn't want to walk you. That brings another run home and extends the Rise's lead. And so I'm looking for Brown to be aggressive on a pitch right here.
Rise have had their opportunities, and here's Brown. Right down the middle. And the count goes full. Pease has been walking the tightrope the first 3 innings. Trying to get out of it again. Warner's playing in, and here comes the payoff. And just gets a piece of it. And the count stays alive.
I think that pitch would have been a strike, and so I think that's a good job by Alex Brown, just trying to fight it off, make Pease bring her another pitch in another pressure situation. 3-2, 1 out.
Pease needs to strike out or the ball hit right at someone. 3-2. Swing and a miss. She struck her out. Big time strikeout by Pease, and there's 2 down.
Autumn Pease saw the hesitancy from Alex Brown on the pitch before on that lower half of the plate. She goes right back to that same spot. This time, Brown can't get around on it.
It's only the second strikeout of the game. First by Pease, and here's Jenna Laird. Laird a walk and a fly out in 2 ABs. And that drops in for a strike, 0-1.
A big strikeout, and then you come back by getting ahead in the count. Great job, Autumn Pease.
And the count now at 1-1. Well, Jenna Laird, of course, a local celebrity here, of course, growing up in East Meadow and then playing at Mizzou. As the count is 0-2 and trying to keep the at-bat alive. An assistant coach over at nearby Adelphi. End of the NE10. 0-2. Roll on the ground to second. Grimm charges and flips to first, and the inning is over. So Autumn Pease, another Houdini act, gets out of the 3rd inning unscathed as they load the bases. And New York not able to capitalize. As we go on to the 4th inning, 3-2 New York.
College planning is a complex, multi-year journey requiring academic and standardized test success, resume building, and sensible college selection, as well as application savvy. Our college readiness services are designed to help you start early, stay organized, and navigate the critical process with confidence. With college admission and financial advising and ACT, SAT test prep, visit methodlearning.com today. At Just Bats, our business strategy is simple. Get the perfect bat for you on time, every time, exactly as you promised. We not only provide you with the baseball bats and softball bats, but we also provide you with a winning experience and a promise like nobody else. Free shipping both ways, expert customer service, same-day shipping up until 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, on time, every time, exactly as promised at Just Bats.
Maybe like a Y occasionally. Maybe the
Vibes are
N.
here
Here that.
at
There we
Bill
go.
Edwards Stadium. They're here to say is get ready for the YMCA. Maria, try the piece. Break it
Quick
down.
pulse check over here.
You
Quick
want me
pulse
to
check.
analyze the
There.
YMCA?
Or do
So-
your own YMCA.
YMCA? And you do yours as well?
And it's fun to stay at the YMCA.
YMCA. We're doing it up here in the booth as well. We're having a lot of fun here at the New York Rise game. The Atlantic Smoke putting on a great show as well. How can you not love some summer softball?
No, you definitely love it. I don't know if I love my dancing. I'll leave it to the pros down there as we get ready for the 4th inning. And a 3-2 lead for New York. And here's Jasmine Hill. He takes low for ball 1.
There's a reason I continued with my softball career and not my dance career. I don't think that one would have panned out too well for me.
See, I think you're underselling yourself. I think if you
okay.
just would have paid a little bit more attention to that.
I did do ballet for 11 years.
Good foundation.
Yeah, definitely helped me with speed, agility, all that fun stuff.
Now, I've heard that being a student athlete, of course, is all-encompassing. You're going to class, you've got the 3-hour practices and lifts, but I'd have to imagine between sets there's got to be some dance practice or anything, as that's it on the ground at third, and Brown's going to throw out Hill for the first out of the fourth.
There might have been dance moves in between lift sets in college, but it definitely wasn't any releves or pliés. And for anybody who doesn't know, those are ballet terms, and probably the only two I remember because ballet was really hard, and I give credit to anybody who does that or any kind of dance. Again, a reason I could not do it because it is so difficult and very difficult to do in between sets of squats.
Here's Anna Bruni, the speedster. Grounded out in her first at-bat. Bruni joining the team in the Bahamas. And now the count even at 1-1. Finished her career 7th on USF's all-time batting average list. Fantastic defensive player, and she gets on base. Can swipe a few bags. The count now 1-2.
She's so explosive out of the box, too, as a slapper. I think that we focus so much on the speed, and that's why you get to first base quickly. But watch the way that she takes those first 2 aggressive steps out of the box when she does make contact. That's how she gets such a good jump headed to first.
LA Light's given up 2 runs on 4 hits in 3 1/3. Comes home with the 2-2. Bruni hits it the other way. Laird, 2 down.
If Bruni hits this just a little bit to the left or to the right of Laird, she has a chance. But Jenna Laird just so solid and consistent. Look at the way that she's playing the slap. She's right in the baseline. She knows the speed of Bruni. Hit right to her. Makes the easy throw over to first.
Back to the top of the order. Silent Rain Espinoza swings and misses, and the count 0-1. She's hitless in 2 at-bats, but reached on an error in her last at-bat.
She has some speed as well, so when she puts the ball in play, it causes some chaos for the defense.
Grew up in Alpine, California, went to Washington. 3rd-team All Pac-12 selection when she was there. RIP to the Pac-12.
What?
Jam shot. Smith calls everyone off, and the inning is over. A much better inning for Allie Light, as she was able to throw strikes and throw up a 1-2-3 inning.
No errors.
Rise still lead, 3-2.
Hey, Rise fans, the Rise is proud to partner with the all-women's...
With proven day programs, routines, and expert coaching, Camwood Elite is the one-stop shop to improve your game or pick up some of the elite equipment in the nation. From pro-grade game bats to elite training, check out camwoodbats.com today. Conveniently located in Rockville Center, Frank's Steaks is a refined but casual, authentic New York steakhouse on Long Island. Since it opened 40 years ago, Frank's Steaks has been committed to serving high-quality prime cuts of beef in a timeless New York atmosphere with a friendly, attentive waitstaff. It's this obsessive dedication to our craft that has led Frank's Steaks to becoming the local destination for special dinners and celebrations. Since 2009, Jen Schroe Catching has been training the game's best catchers. From Olympians to national champions, Jen Schroe Catching is the #1 training source for softball catchers worldwide. Train with the best to become the best. Book a lesson today at jenschroecatching.com.
We're halfway home, bottom of the 4th inning, and a 3-2 lead for New York. Autumn Pease continues to chug out there, and you got to love the resiliency of Pease through her first 3 innings of work.
That was the first word that came to mind when I saw her trotting back out there, because she gives up 3 runs in the first inning and she hasn't given up one since. And so every time she's gotten herself in a difficult situation, she's worked her way out of it. And so resilience is why Autumn Pease has been successful in these last few innings.
2023 Big Ten Pitcher of the Year, All Big Ten First Team, All Big Ten Tournament Team. And looking for her first win of the season. Playing from behind, but doing a good job of keeping her team in it. As it'll be 2-3-4 due up for the Rise in the home half of the 4th inning. Or check that, 3-4-5. Riley Blampede steps up to the plate. Blampede a walk and a pop out in 2 plate appearances. And a good rip, and I think she lost her sliding glove.
I think it was her arm guard, maybe? Yeah, it was her arm guard. Look how powerful that swing was that it completely popped off.
You ever swing that hard?
No, I was a contact hitter for a reason. A very average contact hitter at that.
Gone deep a couple times. You pitched as well. Come on, don't sell yourself short.
Please don't direct anyone to my pitching stats. That was painful. Everybody was hurt. I really needed, you know how in baseball they put those half helmets on to pitch when the position players have to come in? That's what it was like. I wish I would have had one of those. We won the game that I pitched in.
There you go.
I did not get the win. Again, I think I walked like 5 batters in an inning. It's fun. So, anyway.
Well, you're a team player. You play to win the game, and your team won.
Yes, we did. We did win. It was a successful game. We won the series. I'm glad I didn't have to do that again.
And so now when you go back on Arthur Avenue, everyone will remember your heroics on the mound as Blampede splashes it foul.
I remember on Twitter, or X, I guess. It was Twitter at the time, but they tweeted tribal piece into pitch, and multiple Fordham fans were like, I think this is a typo. And I was like, I wish it was a typo. It was not.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Blampede swing and a miss. Good drop ball by Pease. Second strikeout of the evening for Pease. There's one away.
Pease goes to the off-speed pitcher. She's been utilizing the fast stuff all night, especially some of those rise balls. But now that she's changing up the speed, she's able to keep hitters off balance. That's a great pitch from her, especially in the 4th inning.
So the bases are empty for McKenna Smith. How about Smith, the vagabond? Not to play pro softball in Japan, New Zealand as well. I mean, for a lot of people, that's just a bucket list item to travel to those countries. She's getting to play pro ball overseas, which is amazing. Pops it up, foul ground, first base side. Espinoza, she have room. She cannot make the catch, and Grimm almost caught the ricochet. It's just strike 1.
That's tough because I'd like to see Grimm come around and take that ball from Espinoza, but Espinoza called it, and she got a little bit hesitant at the end. She was there. If she would have sprinted to the spot and then stuck her glove up at the last second, it becomes difficult, though, because you're getting close to the dugout. You're getting close to the fence, and so you do become a little hesitant on plays like that.
1-1, 1-2. And you can see the flags, 2 out in center field, blowing out towards right. And there's certainly an issue with the left fielders that we saw on both sides, and perhaps that's something as well. And the sun hasn't completely set yet either, dealing with the summer solstice weekend. 1-2 to Smith. She stays alive.
The wind is definitely more of a factor than we can even identify right now, because the trees are blowing, and I think especially with the spin from both of these pitchers, and then the ball coming off the bat, slicing away from those corner outfielders, it becomes really difficult to catch the ball in the air.
He's ready to hit the 1-2. Swing and a miss. She got her with an off-speed pitch. And back-to-back Ks for Pease.
I need to know where Autumn Pease' off-speed pitch was in that first inning, because that's how she's had success. She's going to it with 2 strikes. These rise hitters are out in front of it, and it's just falling off the table. I really like that pitch. I want to see her continue to use it for as long as she's in this game.
2 up, 2 down. Here's Lauren Lucas. Infield single and a flyout, 2 at-bats. And takes the first pitch strike, 0-1.
And even if you take that pitch, you're still thinking about it, right? So you now have to time up either the fast stuff or the slow stuff. You got to make a decision before you get in the box which one you're going to go after until you get to 2 strikes.
And the count 1-1 to Lucas. How about Lauren Lucas and the year that she's had major shoulder surgery after the 2023 season, so missed the entirety of 2024. Came back this year for Wichita State and put on a clinic at the plate and in the field as well, and even had a couple of assists. And she said that was one of her goals, was to throw out a runner. She was able to do so towards the end of March, and I could only imagine the adversity that she had to go through just to rehab that shoulder and get back into playing shape.
Well, heading into the American Conference Tournament, Christy Bredbender talked about her journey back to the softball field, and it was something that she was really excited about with the way that she's just done such a great job coming back from that injury and leading a Wichita State team that made some noise in that American Conference Tournament.
Deuce is wild, 2 outs. A 3-2 lead for New York. Pease looking to strike out the side. Just off the plate. Full count.
It's a great spot on a 2-2 pitch. You want to have competitive pitches in that count, so you don't want it so far off the plate that there's no chance that Lucas will swing, but you also don't want it too much over the plate that she can hit it.
Served in the air, out to right, going back is Howe at the wall, it's gone! Into the wind, Lauren Lucas goes deep for a solo home run as Lucas makes it 4-2 on her 3rd home run of the year.
For Lauren Lucas, her 3rd home run of the
Lauren
season.
Lucas was waiting for a pitch that she can drive. She works this count deep, and this one hangs a little bit too much over the plate. She waits on it, gets her hands to the ball as she's running around the bases. She was all smiles, John, and for good reason, extending the Rise lead 4-2.
How much power does Lucas have if looks like she just flicked it out there and it went over the wall?
I think it's the power that Lucas has, and I also think it's the speed at which Autumn Pease throws the ball. So I think it's a combination of both. But, man, how about Lauren Lucas just battling back from everything she had going on a couple seasons ago and now just making a splash here at the professional level.
It's a Rise team that hit 3 home runs in their victory over Orlando Monday afternoon in a 6-3 victory. Their first home run of the year. And someone who is no stranger to dingers, Carly Spade, still looking for her first professional home run. Spade a 2 RBI double back in the first, single to left, 2 for 2. And she hammers it to deep center field. Bruni going back at the wall, it's gone! Back-to-back jacks for the Rise. First pro home run for Carly Spade makes it 5-2.
Back-to-back home runs for the Rise. Hey, fans.
Carly Spade had to figure out how to hold that torch because, as you said, John, this is her first pro home run, and she makes sure that it is a no-doubter. That ball not only far over the fence, but high into the atmosphere. Just another pitch by Autumn Pease that just stays over the plate a little bit too much. Spade capitalizes on it and crushes it well over the center field wall.
Left fielder number 15, Ashley.
I could only imagine the sigh of relief that Spade has after seeing the ball finally go over the fence.
Well, she knows that she can do it. She's fantastic for a reason. But as we talked about earlier in the game for the Atlanta Smoke, they were, and what Coach Tarvin talked about was sometimes you just need to be reminded, like, hey, I'm here for a reason. Hey, I'm very good at this sport. Carly Spade is an incredible hitter, and she showed us why right there.
Another player that's in that category right now is Ashley Trewiler, who was struggling coming into tonight's game, and she's 2 for 2 as well. Slammed a single up the middle in her first at-bat, and they had a bunt single in her last plate appearance.
That's what I love, being a left-handed hitter and having the capability to drag bunt, because even if you are struggling a little bit, drop that down. Okay, now you're 1 for 1. Okay, now you could be 2 for 2, as Trewiler is.
Eccles makes the play, and the inning is over. But back-to-back solo home runs, Lauren Lucas and Carly Spade go deep, and it's been a long time coming for both of those players to go deep, and they finally do so as we are through 4 and a 5-2 lead for New York on AWSN.
AZ Gloveman is Casa Grande, Arizona's quality leather sporting goods provider. Softball, baseball, batting gloves, and more. AZ Gloveman caters to men's and women's slow-pitch softball markets throughout the United States. Build your dream glove today at azgloveman.com. With proven day programs, routines, and expert coaching, Camwood Elite is the one-stop shop to improve your game or pick up some of the elite equipment in the nation. From pro-grade game bats to elite training, check out camwoodbats.com today. Since 2009, Jen Schroe Catching has been training the game's best catchers. From Olympians to national champions, Jen Schroe Catching is the #1 training source for softball catchers worldwide. Train with the best to become the best. Book a lesson today at jenschroecatching.com.
Power coming to play for the New York Rise, a 5-2 lead. And how about New York showing a little bit of pop?
Well, I just love the way that we talked about that they have the speed and they have the power. They showed some of the speed, Ashley Trewiler, earlier in this game with the drag bunt. And they said, oh, look, we have that pop off our bats as well. Back-to-back jacks for the Rise. It's been fun to watch.
Another player that's fun to watch. Welcome back, Jalen Ford. Second year with the Rise and the veteran presence that solidifies this pitching staff.
Jalen Ford has played in all levels of professional softball in a few different countries as well. And she's just gotten better the more that she pitches and plays. She has some speed. She uses a lot of spin. She'll work east to west as well. And she also has a changeup. And so the biggest key for me, though, with Jalen Ford is the fact that she just knows how to throw hitters. She's been at this for a long time. She'll hit all of her spots, and that's why she's successful.
Ford playing for Honda Roberta in the Japanese Softball League, also for the USSA Pride and Akron professional team, as that's banged high off the wall. And Morgan Howe thinking extra bases, and she slides into second with a 2-bagger. Well, Howe greeting Ford rudely with a wall scraper.
The Atlanta Smoke says, hey, we know that you have some power, New York Rise. So do we. Morgan Howe going with this pitch off the right center field wall. Slides in safely to second.
Second extra base hit of the day for Howe. As Ford deals a first pitch ball to Jada Cody. Cody a single and a fly out. And carves it foul down the right field line. 1-1. Whatever the pep talk was to Howe, or whatever those magic words were, have resonated from Tarvin to Howe. As that's going to go to the backstop, and that allows Howe to go to third.
I think with softball, sometimes you just press too much, right? You have a lot of time to think, whether it's in the batter's box, whether it's on the field, and so sometimes you can get in your own head a little bit. You need other people to pull you out of it, and once you do, and once you start swinging and seeing that softball like a beach ball, things just start to relax a little bit more and you remember who you are.
Ford making her third appearance of the year, 1-0, an 0.70 ERA. She just allowed the 1 run in 10 innings of work. 2 walks, 9 strikeouts, and behind in the count 2-1 to Cody. That pops off the glove of Smith, but foul tip in the count 2-2.
Jada Cody with some aggressive cuts in this at bat. You have a runner on third base. All you need is a single, but just trying to find a way to claw back at this lead that the New York Rise has taken.
Swing and a miss. Big strikeout for Ford, 1 away.
Well, I told you right before Jalen Ford came into this game that she's successful because she has an off-speed pitch that keeps hitters guessing. She utilizes it against the big bat of Jada Cody to get the first out of the inning.
And so that brings up Charla Eccles. In the dirt, good scoop by Smith, 1-0.
You also need to have confidence in your battery mate when you have an off-speed pitch like Jalen Ford does, and for that reason that we just saw, McKenna Smith able to block that ball in the dirt to keep a run from scoring.
Eccles goes around, and the count 1-1.
Smith wanted to check on that and didn't even need it.
Ford with pinpoint control. Can dial it up. Not a flamethrower, however, but hits her spots and misses high in the count 2-1.
At this level especially, it helps if you have speed, don't get me wrong. But you also need to be able to spin it because you have to have that ball only in the strike zone for a split second with how good these hitters are.
Remains in. It's popped over to short, and Laird hauls it in for the second out. Well, right on cue, Maria, like you said. She spun it, came in on the hands on Eckel, and a weak pop out to Laird.
Left fielder,
and that's
number 9,
really hard, especially when she's bringing it inside on you. You can't get a barrel to it. You get it on that low, small part of the bat between the handle and the barrel. Nothing usually good comes of that.
Chin music to Malloy. Ducks out of the way, and the count 1-0. Well, now the infield can play back. Malloy 1 for 1 with a walk and an infield single. Trying to get on base and get the tying run to the plate. Rolled foul, 1-1.
Jalen Ford not afraid to attack hitters either. She goes right at them in the strike zone. If she misses on that first pitch, you can almost guarantee she'll have it in there on the second one. And that just comes with years of experience as a pitcher at the highest level.
1-1 on the way. Swing and a miss. Ford dialing it up, and the count is 1-2.
She dialed it up, but she also just had pinpoint location. You see it's a little bit of a screwball that started lower and rose away from Kiki Malloy.
1-2. On the hands it hit her. And I think it caught the elbow guard, and Malloy on it first.
Second base, number
She
51,
seems to be okay,
Maddie
smiling over
Grimm.
there at first base. Let's see where it got her. Yeah, looks like on that arm guard.
So here is the potential tying run in Maddie Grimm. It's hit by a pitch and grounded out against Allie Light. Whips through a first pitch drop ball, 0-1.
How about the movement on that pitch?
Allie Light went the first 4 innings, gave up 2 runs in the first, but threw up 3 goose eggs afterwards. 0-1, 0-2.
Jalen Ford gets that strike because of McKenna Smith. She moves her body to the outside part of the plate so that her glove can come back over the plate to make it 0-2.
Grimm looking for her first hit of the year. That pitch is inside. Smith fires down to first, not in time. A little hesitancy from Smith. I don't think Spade was expecting the throw there.
Well, Kiki Malloy took a big lead over at first, and McKenna Smith, being smart, knows that she just has to find a way to get an out if the runner is going to try to take second. You're up by 3 runs, get an out and get yourself out of the inning.
It's a 1-2, upstairs.
I'd like to see Jalen Ford go back to that low drop ball that she threw in the first pitch of this at-bat. She just went with some chin music on the last 2 pitches, changed the plane in the eye of the batter.
Right foul, we'll do it again.
I'll take an outside pitch too. You go up and in, up and in. I'll take it away. I'll be interested to see what she does on this one.
Ken Smith, speaking of our plate umpire, Mario Calabrese on what softball to use, and meanwhile Jalen Ford already has a fresh one in her hand. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners on the corners in a 5-2 game. Upstairs again. And the smoke just not chasing the high heat tonight.
Well, Jalen Ford's starting it too high out of the strike zone. If she starts that a little bit lower, it has good late break, but she's starting at about chest level, and most people aren't going to chase.
Runner goes on the 3-2 pitch, skied in the air, deep right field. Wadle at the warning track, jumps, can't make the catch, it's in play. Howe is in to score. They're going to send Grimm all the way home. The throw to the plate, not in time. An inside the park home run for Maddie Grimm. And that ties the game at 5.
This ball hung in the air for a long time, so Maddie Grimm capitalizes on it. She gets a good piece of it, and Kayla Wadle just gets tripped up in the outfield, turns the wrong way, has to flip around at the last second, and Grimm got on her horse from the beginning, is able to make it all the way around the bases to tie this game.
I'm not sure that's how Grimm envisioned her first home run of the season, but she'll take it.
Still counts the same, whether you hit it out of the park or keep it inside the park.
And so here's McKenna Dowell. And Allie Light will be stuck with the no decision tonight. Ford ahead in the count, 1-2. Feel the air come out of the balloon in that one. 1-2. Waste foul.
It's just tough because you can see that wind we've talked about all day. Wadle's a fantastic fielder, but with the uncertainty of where it's moving while it's in the air, you saw her drop over her glove side and then try to turn back to her throwing side, and she's just unable to come up with it. In a normal circumstance where that wind isn't a factor, that's the 3rd out of the inning, and the Rise are still up 5-2.
One, two. And pop foul again. Maria, how much of that is maybe some of these players, it was a long road trip, they haven't had the chance to practice here at Hofstra, limited field availability. They've been practicing at field houses, batting cages, but really haven't gotten the Bill Edwards experience this year.
I don't even know if it's necessarily the field. I think if it was a situation where playing the ball off the wall, that's a little bit different because every wall plays differently, but I think it's more so just, as you said, they hit the ground running, they're on the road a ton. How many reps are you actually getting in before you, 1, start the season, and 2, once you start playing games, you're playing the games. And so I think it becomes a little difficult, especially if you're not coming right off your college season. The way you get better at fly balls is you just have to read them, and these are some of the best fielders, but they just haven't seen maybe as many fly balls as they have in the past. If I went in to take fly balls right now, I would barely judge any, and these players are a million times better than I ever was.
2-2. Inside it hit her. And the inning will continue as Dowell's aboard. And that'll bring up Jasmine Hill. Second hit by pitch of the inning. And looks like we'll get a pinch hitter here for Atlanta. Looks like it's going to be Elizabeth Mason.
5, Elizabeth Mason.
Good opportunity for Mason. This is her second game of the year. Grew up in Tampa, played at Florida State, led the Seminoles to a national championship back in 2018. Remember a world when Oklahoma wasn't the national champs? I mean, now we're starting to feel it.
This year, come on now. Texas and Texas Tech putting on a show at the Women's College World Series, but I think it just speaks to the growth of this game and why the game here tonight matters so much, because the ultimate objective is to grow this game for the women who are playing now and all these little girls that we see in the stands who come after them. And so whether it's having a different winner than Oklahoma or having Oklahoma have the dynasty to being here tonight, just growing softball is one of the coolest things, and I think that it's a lot of fun to be a part of in any capacity that you can.
Mason hitting for Jasmine Hill. And behind in the count, 0-2. One and two. Mason gets it in the air out to center field, chasing back Blampede. The ballpark will hold it. Blampede makes the catch on the run, and the inning is over. Well, the inning started off innocently enough, but it was Kent State's all-time home run leader, and Maddie Grimm, who went deep for an inside-the-park 3-run home run. We're tied at 5, going to the bottom of the 5th.
Since 2009, Jen Schroe Catching has been training the game's best catchers. From Olympians to national champions, Jen Schroe Catching is the #1 training source for softball catchers worldwide. Train with the best to become the best. Book a lesson today at jenschroecatching.com. At Just Bats, our business strategy is simple. Get the perfect bat for you on time, every time, exactly as you promised. We not only provide you with the baseball bats and softball bats, but we also provide you with a winning experience and a promise like nobody else. Free shipping both ways, expert customer service, same-day shipping up until 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, on time, every time, exactly as promised at Just Bats. With proven day programs, routines, and expert coaching, Camwood Elite is the one-stop shop to improve your game or pick up some of the elite equipment in the nation. From pro-grade game bats to elite training, check out camwoodbats.com today.
Bottom of the 5th inning, we're tied at 5, and a new pitcher for Atlanta is Donnie Goburn, who comes in, not a safe situation, but usually one of the first players out of the pen, and Goburn has been exceptional this year. As Goburn 1-0, has not given up a run in 6 innings of work. This is her 3rd appearance of the year.
Well, as you said, she does a great job coming in these relief situations, and that's why the smoke goes to her right here. She has that rise ball that just spins John like no other, and she can start it at different levels, whether it's at the ankles and rising it into the zone or starting it at the belly button and rising it out of the zone. And so hitters have to figure out which pitches they're going to hit and either zone down. So if it's that high, you lay off of it, or just swinging at her other stuff that maybe doesn't move quite as much.
So Kat Tarvin going with her flamethrowers in game 1 of 3. And of course, we'll have all of your home games on the All Women's Sports Network this season. And after this, we've got a pair on July 8th and 9th when the Florida Vibe come to town. Vibe knocking off Orlando tonight, 1-0. Cameron Greenwood with an RBI single in the bottom of the 6th inning. Well, Florida, a stacked team as well. They've kind of been the running road show with New York, OKC, starting the year off in Kansas City, trying to build a program over there and a professional team. And it's great to see what they're doing for Florida as well, as Sammy Williams pours it foul, 1-1.
It all just goes back to the point we were talking about earlier, which is growing the game, right? Getting more teams, getting this game in front of more people and young girls so that they can get hooked on it and start passing it along as well. And so, I don't know, I'm obviously biased. I played the sport, but it's so cool to see what these women are doing here, what the women did at the Women's College World Series, and how this game has come so far, just even from the time when I played.
Well, here's Sammy Williams, 1-for-1 with a walk. It'll be Sammy Williams, Kayla Wadle, and Alex Brown, 8-9-1. in the home half of the fifth inning against Goburn. Swings and misses through a rise in the count 1-2. Pretty cool moment yesterday for the New York Rise, going to the New York Mets Atlanta Braves game at Citi Field. Sammy's brother Luke playing for the Atlanta Braves. Got to see them as that strike is dropped but completed, as Cody throws it over to first and Williams is down. The cool thing about the Williams family dynamic, and we'll show you a picture tomorrow of it, is that not only is Luke playing in the major league, Sammy also works for the Chicago Cubs as well in their analytics department. So you talk about growing the game. She's trying to grow a championship, and I'm sure she probably knows her brother's spray charts better than he does.
I wonder if she uses that against him in family discussions. Like, hey, I know that you're hitting this percentage on the low outside pitch, so don't say anything mean to me or I'll tell all of your opponents that.
Yeah, that's... I wonder if there's NDAs signed or...
I don't know. We might have to investigate this a little bit further.
Hey, double play is back. Where have you been?
So the count 0-2. So this is Sophia Nugent who's pinch hitting for the Rise, and Nugent sprays it foul. Count 0-2. Pinch hitting for Kayla Wadle. And you wonder if this is just a coach's decision and perhaps Wadle might have been shaken up on that fly ball in right field.
It's interesting. I'm not sure what it is, but it could be just a pinch hit in a situation, give a new batter eyes at the plate. And so we'll see how it pans out. Bottom of the fifth. Tie game, brand new ball game after the inside the park home run.
Well, Nugent grew up in Seal Beach, California, started her career at Oklahoma, then finished at Tennessee, playing the last 3 seasons. 2024 All-SEC second team selection. 1-2, line foul. We'll do it again. Nugent might be the most popular player on the New York Rise social media channel.
She does her makeup so pretty. I really want her to show me how to do it because I put on a little bit of mascara and I can't figure out the intricate details that Nugent does. So 10 out of 10. Highly recommend you all go check that out.
Now, if you could take one of her abilities in the makeup department, what would you take?
Oh, her eyeshadow. I can't do eyeshadow like that. And she comes up with different color schemes and
it's not a smoky eye.
No, it's a beautiful, I don't even know what she would call it. We'll have to ask her.
Out to shallow center. Bruni's there, makes the catch. 2 up, 2 down to begin the home half of the fifth.
Third base, number 25, Alex Brown.
I'm not sure if you picked it up on the last fly ball with Bruni, but I don't know if that was all natural or not. She kind of put her hands out as if she might have had a little difficulty getting the fly ball, or maybe that's just me.
I don't know. I'd have to go back and watch a replay on it one more time.
I just wonder about the depth perception and maybe just the lights playing here. It's not as if these players are playing their first night games at all this season, but first time playing here could be an issue there. Brown serves it the other way, out to deep left center. Bruni and Malloy is there to make the catch, and Donnie Goburn comes on, and Donnie Goburn does what she does best, the flamethrower, coming on and getting a 1-2-3 inning for the Atlanta Smoke, as we're through 5 in a 5-5 game. And Smoke looking to rally when we come back.
Conveniently located in Rockville Center, Frank's Steaks is a refined but casual, authentic New York steakhouse on Long Island. Since it opened 40 years ago, Frank's Steaks has been committed to serving high-quality prime cuts of beef in a timeless New York atmosphere with a friendly, attentive waitstaff. It's this obsessive dedication to our craft that has led Frank's Steaks to becoming the local destination for special dinners and celebrations. AZ Gloveman is Casa Grande, Arizona's quality leather sporting goods provider. Softball, baseball, batting gloves, and more. AZ Gloveman caters to men's and women's slow pitch softball markets throughout the United States. Build your dream glove today at azgloveman.com. Since 2009, Jen Schroe Catching has been training the game's best catchers. From Olympians to national champions, Jen Schroe Catching is the #1 training source for softball catchers worldwide. Train with the best to become the best. Book a lesson today at jenschroecatching.com.
Well, good sign there. Kayla Wadle's back out in right field, so it was just a normal pinch hit for Sabrina Nugent.
Yeah, I like that move there from Michaela Transu just to try to switch things up a little bit. Tie game, bottom of the 5th inning, get a new bat in the order, see if they can shake some things up, and then you put your outfielder back where they started the game.
Or contestant 2.
So we'll get a pinch hitter for Atlanta. It'll be Coco Woolley, middle infielder from Texas A&M. And Woolley from LaPorte, Texas.
We got 2 winners tonight. Make some noise for incredible girls.
I think we're waiting for our in-house entertainment to start the 6th inning.
Now batting for Atlanta, number 3.
And now we're all set.
We're ready to go. How about the in-house entertainment here, though? 10 out of 10.
I'm with you. Good to have the gang back together.
I know, I was giving everybody hugs today. It's been a year since we've seen everyone.
So you had to shoo a few autograph seekers away from you, too.
I think you're lying about that one.
It
but
was, you
that's a
said.
good joke.
Said eyes on the prize. Big tribal piece is back.
I'm not sure that's what they said, but you know what? Boost my
just
ego a little bit.
Ford just missing on the inside fastball. And so the count 1-2. Woolley jams it foul.
That's a hard pitch to hit if you're a left-handed slapper. That screwball coming in from the left-handed pitcher on your hands. Jalen Ford going with that pitch, and I think it's a good decision.
1-2. On the outside corner, got her looking. Second K for Ford and 1 away to begin the 6th.
How about that sequence, though? As we just said, the screwball on the inside part of the plate, and then with 2 strikes, she goes with the curveball on the outside part of the plate. McKenna Smith, again, doing a great job of framing that ball to get the strikeout for Jalen Ford.
Back to the top of the order. Silent Rain Espinoza, hitless in 3 at-bats, reached on an error back in the 2nd.
The stands are shaking here with all of the fans in the crowd.
And double play once again, rallying them right behind our scoreboard. 1-1. And that misses inside 2-1. Cool thing about double play is that he travels with the team.
Yes, he does.
And I've heard that there is supposed to be a birthday celebration. So for the fans that have not purchased tickets yet, you're going to want to come to that. Some pretty cool pro mascots that'll be here.
When is Double Play's birthday?
Well, now that's a good question.
Oh.
I think we're still learning. There's a lot we're learning about double play.
Oh, okay. Interesting. We'll do a full screen graphic on that maybe next game. His whole bio, his origin story. But I don't know how we're going to figure it out if he can't talk.
I think we need to have like a Breaking Bad situation where you've got the letters in the alphabet.
Oh, got you. Okay. That's how we communicate with double play.
Little spinner to short. Lair charges, fires to first, not in time. Spade with the scoop, but not in time to get the speedy Espinoza. And Atlanta's got a one-out base runner.
Jalen Ford throws that screwball into left-handed hitters, and Espinoza gets jammed on it. Laird, though, trying to come around this ball. I would have liked to see her go right at it and then make the throw. Still a great play, but Espinoza too quick on that one.
Here's Morgan Howe. Solo home run and banged a double off the wall back in the 5th inning. It's been a good duel between Howe and Spade offensively for both teams. She goes the other way, out to left. Treeweiler hauls it in, 2 down.
I think that was just more proof of the wins, because off the bat I thought, oh, that might be another double in the gap, and then Treeweiler just comes in and catches a routine fly ball. And so I'm going to go out there, I'm going to pick up some grass after this game, I'm going to throw it in the air, because my former outfielder instincts are telling me there's something spinning right now here in New York.
Certainly been a week for the duality of the weather. There's Jada Cody behind in the count, 0-1. Swing and a miss. And the count 0-2. Cody a single back in the 1st, a fly out in the 2nd, a strikeout in the 5th. 0-2, just off the plate.
Jalen Ford trying to sell that one. Definitely way outside, but that's where you want an 0-2 pitch.
She's been nibbling. 1-2. Got her. Good drop ball by Jalen Ford to get Cody swinging. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Jalen Ford. As we got a 5-5 game going to the bottom of the 6th, the Rise look to rally here at Bill Edwards Stadium.
All right, look, I'm actually up here because I'm
College planning is a complex, multi-year journey requiring academic and standardized test success, resume building, and sensible college selection, as well as application savvy. Our college readiness services are designed to help you start early, stay organized, and navigate the critical process with confidence. With college admission and financial advising and ACT, SAT test prep, visit methodlearning.com today. At Just Bats, our business strategy is simple. Get the perfect bat for you on time, every time, exactly as you promised. We not only provide you with the baseball bats and softball bats, but we also provide you with a winning experience and a promise like nobody else. Free shipping both ways, expert customer service, same-day shipping up until 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, on time, every time, exactly as promised at Just Bats.
Back here in the bottom of the 6th, double play breaking it down. And there's a prize that he's got in his hand, too. I think that's available at the merch station, too. You can have your own double play mascot at home.
Well, I think what they have to do is imitate double plays moves, and there's different levels for each move. And so, oh, John, I think you should try to imitate that move up here in the booth.
I can't get back up if I do that. But how about this young fan here in the jersey, all the way on the left, the number 12?
Yeah.
She had it.
Oh, she did. Oh, there's some good competition here. I don't know who double play is going to pick. He's deliberating right now.
The winner is number 12.
You
in my
think
book.
so? You think?
Yeah.
It was not number 12. You were wrong.
That's fixed. I'm writing to my congressman right now. That's an injustice.
We need to pull that clip for social media and see what social media tells us who was the winner of the double play contest.
She did the worm from the right pole behind the plate all the way to the center pole.
I wish you would have given us a better play-by-play of that. That's your job.
I know, I'm rusty.
It's
First
all right.
game for me, too, of the summer.
All right, we're getting back into it. We'll be great by the 3rd game.
Jenna Laird starts it off for the Rise. And ahead in the count, 2-0. Jenna Laird, Riley Blampede, McKenna Smith up against Donnie Goldberg. Came on last inning. Got a strikeout and a couple of flyouts. Pours in a strike, 2-1.
Well, that's how Donnie Goburn gets you to miss and gets you to make out is she spins that rise ball, so you're either striking out or popping out. That barrel is fluttering underneath the ball. There's a lot of spin on it, and on the flip side, because there's a lot of spin, sometimes it spins out of the zone, which is why Jenna Laird is ahead 3-1 in this count.
Trying to get on base, the speedster swings and misses at a rise. 3-2.
That pitch is so hard to lay off of. Did you see where it started? Right at Laird's belly button, and then it jumps, and by the time Laird swings, it's over the top of her bat because of the late break.
3-2 on the way. Lays off ball 4, and the leadoff hitter's aboard. And just what the doctor ordered for the rise. Now you can do a couple of things with Laird on base.
That's the discipline, though, from Jenna Laird. That pitch before she swung at was the same one she took for ball 4. You have to have the discipline knowing that if that ball is belly button or up, you're laying off it. If it's belly button or down, you can take a hack at it. It's called zoning down.
Blampede whacks the first pitch into the netting behind the plate, 0-1.
It's tough here. It's a tie game, bottom of the 6th inning. You might think about sacrifice bunting here, but to the point of Donnie Go-Byrne's rise ball, that's one of the most difficult pitches to hit because of the spin and trying to stay on top of it. So I see why Coach Transu maybe says in this situation, I'm going to let her swing away.
Well, Blampede will walk, a strikeout, and a pop-out in 3 at-bats. 1-1, she's swinging and takes inside, 2-1. Prime opportunity for the rise, looking to pull in front. 2-1. That's lined into left field, a base hit, and the line keeps moving. Laird into second as Malloy lobs it back in. And a prime opportunity for the rise. Here comes McKenna Smith.
Catcher, number 21.
You have to stay on top of the rise ball. That one is a little bit flat. Good piece of hitting by Riley Blampede to stay on top.
What do you think?
Smith double to right back in the second. Lays off the high pitch and the count 1-0.
Jada Cody knows how important this moment is, especially against a hitter like McKenna Smith. And so I think she's going out there to talk to Donnie Go-Byrne just to say, hey, let's throw strikes. Let's try to get ahead of this thing right here because we definitely don't want to try to battle back by multiple runs as opposed to maybe 0 or 1 heading into the top of the 7th.
Smith has come in clutch time and time again for the rise last season. Trying to do so now. 1-0. 1-1. Kenna Smith joining the team today. And the 1-1 foul back. And the count 1-2. Feels like the cavalry's coming back for the rise, and Smith being one of them as she drives it foul down the right field line. And the count stays at 1-2.
Well, you mentioned how this Rise team has been either all or nothing. Getting players like McKenna Smith back in the lineup adds another one of those big bats to help in this situation where you can pass the bat to more than just one really good hitter.
1-2 in the dirt, goes to the backstop, and everybody moves up a base. Laird to third, Blampede to second on the wild pitch, and the count is 2-2. That was a tough ball for the catcher Cody to keep in front. And so a fly ball gives the Rise the lead. 2-2 pitch. Outside, that goes to the backstop. Here comes Laird charging for the plate. There will be no throw, and the Rise go in front on the back-to-back wild pitch. Laird scores 6-5 New York.
With the spin that Donnie Go-Byrne has on her ball, wild pitches tend to happen. Jenna Laird saw it occur in the pitch before, so she's ready at third base. As soon as that ball's released, she sees it gets away from Cody. She finds her way crossing home plate.
And Smith pops it up. And it'll go foul.
Your attention, please. Please get off the platform in center field.
Well, the count remains full to Smith as New York looks for insurance. And Smith drives it into center field. Bruni's there, makes the catch. Tagging at third is Blampede. She will score. It's a sacrifice fly for McKenna Smith. 7-5 rise.
Good piece of hitting by McKenna Smith, but how about this play from Anna Marie Bruni? This was laced right back up the middle. She takes a great drop step and then sticks her glove up at the last second, and that's how she's able to make that play.
The designated player, number 28, Lauren Lucas.
So here's Lauren Lucas, homered back in the fourth. Her and Carly Spade going back to back to make it a 5-2 game. Swings and misses at a 1-0 pitch. And the count 1-1. Well, walks will kill you, Maria, and the Rise taking advantage of the leadoff walk and then back-to-back wild pitches to put an insurance run on the board.
Well, we mentioned earlier in the game about quality at bats, right? And a walk is a quality at bat. I think everybody really wants to get up there and get a hit, but if you can work a deep count, if you can work a lot of pitches, it may result in a walk. It may result in a hard line drive like McKenna Smith did. And I think that that's how you win softball games, because you need a team to win a game. And so a team wins a game by having good at bats, by passing the bat, and then when you have runners in scoring position, executing in those moments.
1-2 coming. Cute foul.
And they've scored in a variety of ways. We've talked about the back-to-back jacks, and then you have the last way that this run was generated with some walks, some wild pitches, and then a sacrifice fly. And so I think that is a telltale sign of a strong offense when you can have people scoring runs in a variety of ways.
Lucas chases the high heat and goes down for the third Go-Burn strikeout. And 2 away, and that'll bring up Carly Spade.
That's the danger of Donnie Go-Burn's rise ball. It looks so good, and not only does it look so good, it spins so much, and it has some pop behind it as well.
Spade a triple away from the cycle. 1-0. Swing and a miss, and the count 1-1.
Spade smiling because she knows, oh, I fell victim to chasing that rise ball as well.
So 1-1. 1-2. Jalen Ford will have a work cut out for her. In the top of the 7th, 4-5-6 2 up. As Go-Burn pounds it in for a strike. And that does it for New York in the 6th. But taking advantage, a leadoff walk and back-to-back wild pitches as New York looks to take the 2025 home opener when we come back.
Conveniently located in Rockville Center, Frank's Steaks is a refined but casual, authentic New York steakhouse on Long Island. Since it opened 40 years ago, Frank's Steaks has been committed to serving high-quality prime cuts of beef in a timeless New York atmosphere with a friendly, attentive waitstaff. It's this obsessive dedication to our craft that has led Frank's Steaks to becoming the local destination for special dinners and celebrations. Since 2009, Jen Schroe Catching has been training the game's best catchers. From Olympians to national champions, Jen Schroe Catching is the #1 training source for softball catchers worldwide. Train with the best to become the best. Book a lesson today at jenschroecatching.com. With proven day programs, routines, and expert coaching, Camwood Elite is the one-stop shop to improve your game or pick up some of the elite equipment in the nation. From pro-grade game bats to elite training, check out camwoodbats.com today.
Summer night in New York City, Bryant Park. Some ping pong, some chess, and a 7-5 lead for the Rise. 3 outs away from taking the 2025 home opener. She's Maria Tribal Peace. I'm John Perez. That is Jalen Ford looking for the final 3 outs of the night.
She had a good outing in that last inning because of the screwball to the inside part of the plate on left-handed hitters. She sets them up on the inside and then goes away once she gets 2 strikes. She's also been utilizing that off-speed pitch as well, and so these Atlanta hitters need to pick which speed they're sitting when they come to the plate in this 7th inning.
Charlotte Eccles, Kiki Malloy, and Maddie Grimm due up against Ford. And for Ford, you see the side is trying to compose herself.
Taking a deep breath.
Leading off for Atlanta, third base number 4, Carla Eccles.
So here's Charlotte Eccles, singled back in the first, but then a ground out and a pop out. And ahead in the count, 1-0.
There's that off speed from Ford right away.
And she stays upstairs. On to let her high rise in the count, 2-0.
Atlanta needs base runners in this scenario, and so you don't want to give Ford anything.
3 straight out of the zone.
If you're Eccles, I'm taking all the way on this 3-0. I might even think about taking 3-1 if it gets to that point.
Nobody warming up in the New York bullpen so far. Ford just looking for strike 1. Doesn't get it there. A 4-pitch walk to begin the 7th.
Hey fans, the Rise will be signing autographs after tonight's game. Please line up outside the first base bullpen after the game.
Well, a clutch walk for Eccles, who really knows her zone and doing a good job to get on base. And now here's the tying run in Kiki Malloy. 1 for 2 on the day. Takes a healthy cut, 0-1.
Left fielder number 9,
That's
Kiki Malloy.
what no softball team wants to hear, that Kiki Malloy is the tying run at the plate. The way that she's wreaked havoc against defenses her entire career. Jalen Ford gets a good, healthy cut from her on the first one. Now she goes to 1-1, and so I'm interested to see if Ford goes back to that high heat like she had on that first pitch.
One. Chopped on the ground at third. Brown goes to second for 1. Williams the turn, not in time. It skips past the first baseman, Spade. Smith will apply the tag anyway, but no out rewarded. They get the lead runner in Eccles at second, and there's 1 away.
Malloy hits this ball hard, and the Rise try to turn 2, but Kiki Malloy just too fast. That's a really big play, though, to get that lead runner.
And so that'll bring up Maddie Grimm. Her inside the park 3-run home run tied the game at 5 back in the 5th inning. Big swing and a miss, 0-1.
Jalen Ford seems to be bringing a little bit more oomph in this inning, especially on that rise ball, getting these Atlanta hitters to chase it.
0-1, 0-2.
Or does she go back to the rise? Does she work that off speed? See, that as a hitter, you're really guessing in this scenario.
0-2. That's cracked in the air, deep right field. Forget it. Tie ball game. A 2-run home run for Maddie Grimm. Her second long ball of the night ties the game at 7.
Right before this pitch, I said that the Atlanta hitters were guessing off of Jalen Ford, and Maddie Grimm said, listen, I'm not guessing on anything. I know exactly where that ball is going, and it is way over the fence. That's where it's landing as well. A big swing from Grimm to tie this game up.
Figured she wasn't going to exert as much energy as she had to do on the last home
Shortstop
run.
number 32, McKenna Dowell.
She almost hit that ball off the facing of the wall at the basketball arena.
Well, she just wanted to prove to people that not only could she hit one inside the park, she could hit one out of the park as well. Speed and strength. Maddie Grimm.
So we're back to square one in the top of the 7th inning. And the 1-0, wave and a miss. Count 1-1.
There's that off speed from Jalen Ford.
Dowell will walk, a hit by pitch, and a flyout in 3 plate appearances. And that hit her. Second time that she's been plunked today.
That's the risk you run when you throw inside to left-handed hitters. Coming from Jalen Ford, the left-handed arm. See Dowell not really moving, but getting clipped a little bit on that arm guard.
Michaela Transure going out there, just trying to give her pitcher a blow, get on the same page. And so, what do you think Transue is telling Ford here?
I saw her signaling with the arm circle motion, so I think she's probably just telling her, okay, just throw your pitches, throw your pitches. You've hit a couple batters, so make a minor adjustment. I think the thing with these Atlanta hitters is that they're not going to move, right? They're trying to take up space in that batter's box. So Jalen Ford, you've been playing this game a very long time. You have the capability to make sure that you place the ball just a little bit more over the plate so that it's not beating people.
Now batting number 5.
Elizabeth Mason sprays it foul off to the right side. Mason with her second plate appearance of the evening. Came on as a pinch hitter back in the 5th inning and flew out to center. And the Seminole takes right down the plate. And the count 0-2. In the dirt, Smith keeps in front, 1-2. No quit in this Smoke team. 1-2. And on the ground left side, Laird keeps it in front of her and everybody's safe. That would have been a tough play for Laird anyway, and the Smoke just continued to keep the line moving.
Even if Laird feels that cleanly, I don't think she has a play at either base. It was hit too deep in the hole. Does a good job of ranging for it, but gets eaten up.
So they're going to rule that an error. Regardless, Atlanta will take runners on first and second with one out. And a pinch hitter for the Smoke. It looks like it's going to be Taylor Kraft, the former Minnesota golfer. Kraft attacks the first pitch and lines it into left field, a base hit. Rounding third is Dowell, and she puts on the stop sign. As the throw's cut off and the bases are loaded. Pinch hit single for Kraft.
That's a smart decision by Dow. You know that your team is starting to get on forward. You don't want to run yourselves out of a big inning. Keep passing the bat, going from base to base. That ball's right in front of her. She knows that she probably doesn't have a good chance of making it home.
Silent Rain Espinoza, now the 7th batter of the inning. Infield comes in. And Ford misses low, 1-0.
And the infield has to be in this scenario because it's a tie game, bases loaded. You want to get that force out at home, and so you tighten it up, both the middies and corners coming in.
Swing and a miss, got her to chase upstairs. 1-1.
That was some high heat from Jalen Ford. When she throws that rise ball, especially inside, hitters are having a hard time with it.
1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Good drop ball by Ford. 1-2.
Well, she throws it hard up and in, and then she takes a few miles an hour off of it with that changeup. Espinoza not able to time up either of those pitches.
One, two. Got her. Big time K by Ford, and there's 2 down.
What a beautiful pitch sequence. The rise ball hard up, change up a little bit lower, and then a perfectly placed strike
Right fielder number 47,
on the inside corner.
Morgan Howe.
And so this will bring up Morgan Howe. 2 for 4 on the day, a solo home run and a double. Came around to score twice. Atlanta's got the bases loaded in the first pitch. This is inside, 1-0.
That one came close to hitting how it looked like. And it's tough because when Ford locates that pitch, it's difficult to hit, but she just misses.
One out. Swing and a miss. There's that oomph you were talking about.
It really is. I feel like she's gotten stronger as the game has gone on.
One coming. Just got a piece of it, and Ford a strike away from getting out of the inning. Maddie Grimm's 2-run home run ties the game at 7. As Atlanta is trying to get over the hump. Morgan Howe had that conversation with Kat Tarvin, who showed her tape and said, hey, this is what you can be. And since then, she's responded with 3 home runs over her last 2 games and has a double to boot. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The pitch. Upstairs, 2-2.
It depends on how much confidence Ford has in that off-speed pitch of whether or not she goes to it on 2-2. She just set her up with that high rise ball. Now she's been going to the changeup off-speed here.
2-2 coming. Chopped foul.
Nope, she goes back inside.
Kenna Dow at third, Elizabeth Mason at second, Taylor Craft on at first. What a fun home opener this has been. Here comes the 2-2. And she stays alive.
What an at-bat from Howe, just fighting off the pitches that she doesn't want, hoping that Jalen Ford makes a mistake down the middle.
Two on the way from Ford. Struck her out. Big time strikeout by Ford, but not before giving up a big 2-run home run to Maddie Grimm, who ties the game. It's a 7-7 game going to the bottom of the 7th as the Rise look to rally on the All Women's Sports Network.
At Just Bats, our business strategy is simple. Get the perfect bat for you on time, every time, exactly as you promised. We not only provide you with the baseball bats and softball bats, but we also provide you with a winning experience and a promise like nobody else. Free shipping both ways, expert customer service, same-day shipping up until 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, on time, every time, exactly as promised at Just Bats. College planning is a complex, multi-year journey requiring academic and standardized test success, resume building, and sensible college selection, as well as application savvy. Our college readiness services are designed to help you start early, stay organized, and navigate the critical process with confidence. With college admission and financial advising and ACT, SAT test prep, visit methodlearning.com today. AZ Gloveman is Casa Grande, Arizona's quality leather sporting goods provider. Softball, baseball, batting gloves, and more. AZ Gloveman caters to men's and women's slow-pitch softball markets throughout the United States. Build your dream glove today at azgloveman.com.
Back here at Bill Edwards Stadium, she's Maria Trivalpiece. I'm John Perez. Rise looking to walk it off against Donnie Goldberg. No easy task.
Well, this has been nothing but an exciting opening night here between the Rise and the Atlanta Smoke, and so I'm interested to see, does the bottom of the 7th become as exciting as the top of the 7th was?
Well, if you're the Rise, and now that you've seen Donnie Goldberg now going into the second time through the order for her, what are you expecting up at the plate?
Well, I think you saw it in that last inning. It's that zoning down. You know that she has that Rise ball that jumps through the zone, lay off of it, and wait for one that comes in the zone that you can crush. And that's how Jenna Laird got on base, by laying off that second Rise ball, and she ultimately came around to score.
It'll be Ashley Treeweiler to lead it off. Attacks the first pitch, hits it right back to the circle, and Goburn fires over to first. 1 pitch, 1 out to begin the home half of the 7th.
It's tough as a slapper. The one place that you don't want to hit the ball is to the pitcher, because that's almost a sure way to get out. Treeweiler doing a good job of chopping that ball into the dirt, but right back to Goburn on the mound.
One up, one down. Here's Sammy Williams. 1 for 2 with a walk and a strikeout. And Goburn just trying to get on the same page as Cody and might not be able to pick up the sign.
They're smiling, trying to figure out, what are we going with on this next one? There we go.
I think we're looking at trade secrets here.
I close my eyes. I don't want to know.
Well, Williams just trying to get on base. And the first pitch to the backstop, just a bit outside. 1-0.
Well, that's what the Rise needs, base runners.
Williams, an impressive resume at Iowa State. 4th year in the pros, 2nd year with the Rise. 2-time Big 12 Student Athlete of the Year. And NFCA First Team All-American. And a National Freshman of the Year. One, 2-1.
This is a great hitter's count for Sammy Williams. Goburn doesn't want to put any base runners on because that's the game-winning run. You have to think she's going to come at you.
2-1 popped up, foul territory. Espinoza gives it a look. And it clanks off the bleachers. 2-2.
A good hack from Williams. Goburn coming at her as we suspected on a 2-1 count. She takes a healthy cut, but just foul.
Two on the way. And that's driven in the air out to deep right field. Going back, Cal. It's gone! Sammy Williams wins it! A walk-off solo home run, and the Rise win the home opener 8-7.
I asked you before this, John, will the bottom of the 7th inning be as exciting as the top half? And it seems the answer to that question is yes. Sammy Williams providing the excitement, providing the power, and coming up big for the New York Rise with the walk-off home run to win the game.
Well, we were talking about facing Donnie Goldberg second time through, and Sammy Williams pounding it over the wall in right field.
The 2-2 pitch, the rise ball that's just a little flat, and Sammy Williams says, I'm going to take this the opposite way and get on top of it. The arms go up because why not? You hit the game-winning home run in the home opener.
So Sammy Williams playing the role of hero as she sends everybody home happy. And for Sammy Williams, a walk-off home run to give the Rise an 8-7 victory here at Bill Edwards Stadium. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll speak to our hero right here on the All Women's Sports Network.
AZ Gloveman is Casa Grande, Arizona's quality leather sporting goods provider. Softball, baseball, batting gloves, and more. AZ Gloveman caters to men's and women's slow-pitch softball markets throughout the United States. Build your dream glove today at azgloveman.com. With proven day programs, routines, and expert coaching, Camwood Elite is the one-stop shop to improve your game or pick up some of the elite equipment in the nation. From pro-grade game bats to elite training, check out camwoodbats.com today. Conveniently located in Rockville Center, Frank's Steaks is a refined but casual, authentic New York steakhouse on Long Island. Since it opened 40 years ago, Frank's Steaks has been committed to serving high-quality prime cuts of beef in a timeless New York atmosphere with a friendly, attentive waitstaff. It's this obsessive dedication to our craft that has led Frank's Steaks to becoming the local destination for special dinners and celebrations. Since 2009, Jen Schroe Catching has been training the game's best catchers. From Olympians to national champions, Jen Schroe Catching is the #1 training source for softball catchers worldwide. Train with the best to become the best. Book a lesson today at jenschroecatching.com. At Just Bats, our business strategy is simple. Get the perfect bat for you on time, every time, exactly as you promised. We not only provide you with the baseball bats and softball bats, but we also provide you with a winning experience and a promise like nobody else. Free shipping both ways, expert customer service, same-day shipping up until 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, on time, every time, exactly as promised at Just Bats. College planning is a complex, multi-year journey requiring academic and standardized test success, resume building, and sensible college selection, as well as application savvy. Our college readiness services are designed to help you start early, stay organized, and navigate the critical process with confidence. With college admission and financial advising and ACT, SAT test prep, visit methodlearning.com today.
The 2025 home opener was a classic here in the Big Apple. And here at Bill Edwards Stadium, we're here with our hero, Sammy Williams, a walk-off solo home run. Sammy, take us through that final at-bat.
Really just trying to time it up and get on top half. And I felt like the pitch right before that, I just missed it. So I think I was set up to like hit the top half or something that next pitch.
What was the conversation like coming in after your team gives up those 2 runs in the top half of the inning? What did you and your teammates talk about to kind of propel you in the bottom half?
We just talked about like it's perfect time to do it. Like walk it off, let's go. Have it be fun. Like nothing too crazy. Just like this is a good opportunity to walk it off.
I'm going to switch mics with you for a second, if that's cool.
No problem.
A little behind the scenes, but Sammy, take me through the ride that you've had with the Rise so far. You were the first player signed by this team.
had to wait for all your teammates. Now second year through, you get the walk-off. But what has it been like to put this team together and just be a part of it every summer?
Yeah, I think one thing that is always like constant with this team is like the people are great. Everyone is a great teammate, and like that's something I always look forward to. The past 2 years is just like it's so fun to play with this team on the field.
And then I know you said that you thought it was out, maybe you weren't sure when it went over the fence. Can you take us through that moment as well when you're like, oh, wait, this is out, now I can finally put my arms up?
Yeah, I'm very superstitious, so off the bat I was like, that might be out, and then I saw it kind of coming down, and I was like, oh no, it might be off the wall, so I'm going to wait for it to go over because I don't want to throw my arms up and hit it off the top of the wall. But
I think she just took your job of giving a better play-by-play there than
A chair is always open for you, Sammy, whenever you want. But I think you've got a few more games under your belt.
I hope so.
Well, what a great celebration it was. What a fun home opener it was as well. And Sammy, thanks for the time.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thanks
it.
for having me.
That's Sammy Williams, our hero of the game, and that's going to put a bow on the 2025 home opener for our entire crew. Led by T&D Sports and the All-Women Sports Network. This is John Perez saying so long from Bill Edwards Stadium. This has been a presentation of AFP Softball on the All-Women Sports Network.